Hello everyone. We will just take a quick revision of what we see in the last lecture. We had seen what is meant by statistics, what is the definition of statistics. Am I audible? आवाज येतोय ना?
Yes, sir. Yes,
हा,
sir.
येतोय. Okay. We had seen what is meant by statistics, what is the definition of statistics. It is the collection, classification and tabulation of numerical facts as the basis for explanation, description, comparison of phenomena. So this is the overall definition of the statistics. We had seen the importance of statistics. We had seen the importance of statistics. What is the importance in each field in our day-to-day life? Also, we had seen the applications of statistics in agriculture. In that, we had seen what are the different fields or different branches in agriculture, like chemistry, in soil chemistry, and in entomology, in economics, in animal husbandry and dairy science, and in agriculture and engineering. In all the branches, we can see the application of statistics is used. The statistics is applied in almost all the branches in agriculture. Also, we had studied what is the limitations of statistics. Next, we had studied what are the types of data. There are two types of data. One is primary data and another is secondary data. Another is secondary data. So the data which is actually collected by the observer or the reader is called as primary data, and the data which is collected by some another person or from unpublished sources or published sources, that is called as secondary data. So these were the two types of data. Also, we had studied the different types of classification of data, that is quantitative data, qualitative data, classification of data, that is geographical classification or chronological or spatial classification. Second, chronological classification or historical classification. Third, the qualitative classification. And last is the quantitative classification. You just have to see the left hand side of the table, left column of the table that we had seen in the last lecture, and difference between the primary data and secondary data. Next, frequency distribution. We had seen the how to draw a frequency distribution table. So these were the different steps, 4 steps. First is number of classes by Yule's formula. Second is the class interval, which is given by this formula, maximum data minus minimum value A upon number of the total number of the classes. Third, you have to count the frequencies using tally marks, and fourth, you have to prepare a frequency table by either of the method. So we had used the inclusive method. This inclusive method, in this, the upper value or the maximum value of the first class is not equal to minimum value of the next class or the preceding class. So this is the inclusive method that we had studied, and in exclusive method, the maximum value of first class and the minimum value of second class or next class are same. That is the exclusive method. So in first chapter only we used inclusive method because this is the simplest method to draw a frequency table. That's why we use the inclusive method. In normal statistics, we use this method, exclusive method. So you have to convert the inclusive method or inclusive table into the exclusive table that we are going to see in this lecture. So also we have constructed a frequency table and cumulative frequency table that is over in the last lecture. Okay, next we'll start with the lecture number 2. So this topic is all related to the graphical presentation. That's why I told you to carry a pencil and a scale. That is the important part of this topic. So this graphical representation, it consists of different graphs like histogram, frequency curve, frequency polygon, and Ogue curve, or that is also called as cumulative frequency curve. So these all curves we are going to draw. These all curves we are going to draw using different methods or different data. That is called as graphical presentation. So in our day-to-day life, we see different types of graphs. These may be related to any field. We see different types of graphs every day. Literally every day in newspapers also there are graphs attached to this. So we'll see one examples of day-to-day life of graphical presentation. Can anybody tell me which is this graph?
Bar graph.
The topic of this graph. What is the topic of this graph? Chormale. Akshay Chormale. What is the topic of this graph? Akshay Chormale. आहे का जागेवर? Akshay Chormale. What is the topic of this graph? अक्षय चोरमले. प्रेझेंट आहे का? नेक्स्ट अक्षय पवार. ग्राफ दिसतोय? अक्षय पवार. अक्षय पवार.
हा सर.
हा कुठला टॉपिक आहे हा? कुठला ग्राफ आहे? कसला ग्राफ आहे? नाही मला टाईप नाही विचारलं मी, फक्त टॉपिक विचारलं. कुठल्या टाईप टॉपिकचा ग्राफ आहे हा? कशाचा ग्राफ आहे? कशाचा ग्राफ आहे? विच ग्राफ इज दिस?
माहित नाही सर.
हेडिंग दिलंय की? व्हॉट इज दिस? हेडिंग दिलंय का? विराट कोहलीचं.
year by year.
हा. So this graph is related to Virat Kohli's test runs year by year. So from 2011, note केलं तरी चालेल. 2011, 2012, 2013, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is the graph of Virat Kohli's runs year by year. So this we see in a cricket match. This we see in a cricket match. We will not discuss which type of graph. We will take it forward after in this lecture only, but next time. Okay, next. गणेश माने आहे का?
हो सर.
हा कुठला ग्राफ आहे हा?
पर्सेंटेज ग्रोथ इन रुरल लीडरशिप.
हा म्हणजे कशाचे ग्राफ आहे? खाली बघा, एक्स ऍक्सिस वाचा. एक्स ऍक्सिस मध्ये काय दिलंय? दिसतंय एक्स ऍक्सिस?
हो.
हा काय काय दिलंय ते काय, कशाची नाव आहेत ती? विच न्यूजपेपर्स. So this is a graph of newspapers. Pudari, Deshunnati, Lokmat, Punyanagari and Sakal. So this is a graph of rural leadership. How many people from rural areas read which type of newspapers? So this is given as percentage. So this is a Sakal graph. So it is given as given in Sakal paper. Sakal has a highest rural readership or highest rural viewership. This is a newspaper graph. Okay, third. चैतन्य कांबळे आहे का? चैतन्य कांबळे. which type of graph? Which graph is this? Of what graph is this? कुठला ग्राफ आहे हा? Huh?
India's biggest exit poll.
Exit poll means it is related to election. It is related to elections in Maharashtra. So this graph is shown in almost every news channel. This graph is shown in almost every news channel of polls, which party will win which how many seats. That graph is shown in almost every news channels after the elections are over or before the election results. So this graph we'll also see daily before during the elections. Next, next. मार्कड, महेंद्र मार्कड आहे का? महेंद्र मार्कड, महेंद्र मार्कड. हा
Yes, sir, आहे.
हा कशाचा ग्राफ आहे? विच ग्राफ इज दिस? झूम केलं तरी
क्रोड
झूम
मध्ये
केलं. हा आवाज नाही आहे. आवाज जर
क्रोड
हा खाली काय आहे? व्हॉट इज देअर इन एक्स एक्सेस? एक्स एक्सेस मध्ये काय आहे? व्हॉट इज देअर इन एक्स एक्सेस? मूवी नेम्स. हुज मूवीज आर दीज? हा विच ऍक्टर्स मूवी नेम्स आर दीज? कुठल्या ऍक्टरचे मूवीज आहेत त्या?
जॉली लिटिल बिट, अक्षय
विच
कुमार.
हा सो दीज आर द
अक्षय कुमार.
okay, these are the collections, movie collections or Bollywood collections in crores of Akshay Kumar movies from 2007 to 2017. So these are the movie collections in of Akshay Kumar movies we see in the Bollywood news channel, Zoom, MTV. All these news channels we see daily. Mute. Next, yesterday there was a workshop on stock market related to financial literacy. So this is a stock market or share market graph which changes daily. So this who are in the stock market business, this graph is the common graph which we see. Okay. Next, this is the most hot graph of these 4 months. Which graph is this? Anybody can tell? Death rate.
Corona graph.
So death rate, the top 11 cities whose death rate is highest. It is in Solapur, the death rate is the highest one right now. So this is a corona graph. This is a corona graph with highest death rates. Similarly, this is also a corona graph in India. This is also a corona graph in India. 12th July, you can see 28,637 new cases. 28,637 new cases on 12th July. So up to 12th July, you can see the graph is increasing from April to July. So this type of graphs we see daily from start. Okay. So why these graphs are required? Why do you think the graphs are required? Before that, just a slight difference in between diagrams and graphs. So diagrams and graphs. So graphs are constructed on a graph paper and diagrams are constructed on a plain paper. What? All the graphs are diagrams. You can see all the graphs. Any graph is a diagram. Okay. So that is diagram is a subset of graphs. The graph is a bigger set and diagram is a subset of a graph. Every graph is a diagram, but every diagram is not a graph. That is the big difference. Each graph is a diagram and it is prepared on a suitable scale. Every graph is prepared on a suitable scale, like 1 centimeter is equal to 1 meter or 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. Like this, the scale is prepared while drawing a graph. Okay, that is the difference between the graphs and diagrams. In this lecture, we are going to draw both graphs and diagrams. Okay. Now the question is, why do we need the graphical representations? most of the people are attracted by a graphs. Picture can speak. Picture is greater than thousand of words. A picture is more than thousand words. Okay, so graphical representation or visual representation is more attractful as compared to the uh, what we hear. Okay, visual representation is more attractful than the audio representation. That is the first point. Next, time and effort required to draw a graph. If we have correct data, the time and effort required to draw a graph is less. Okay. Third, graphs show the data in a proper perspective. Means what we want to imply to the reader or viewer, we can show it easily using the graphs. What we want to say to the reader, it can be more implanted to the reader by using the graphs. Graphs give a lasting impression. It gives a lasting impressions. Even a movie also can leave a lasting impression than a book. A movie like Three Idiots, it has gained crores of rupees in just few days. So it is based on a novel called Five Point Someone. So after the release of the movie and after it became famous, then only the Five Point Someone, the novel Five Point Someone has reached a higher stage. Okay, so because of that movie, the Five Point Someone also has gained a good impression. Okay, that is called as graphs give a lasting or long lasting impression. While explaining or while drawing a graph, language is not a barrier. You can draw a graph by looking at any language because there are certain numerical values attached to it. Okay, and graphs we use in it is a widely used. Most of the people use graph in almost all the industries. The graph is used, but there are limitations also while drawing the graphs. First limitation is the diagrams we draw or graphs we draw are approximate. They are not. They are just a scale. They are just related to scale. They are not accurate. There may be some mistakes in the graphs also. If there are some minute differences in the values between the graphs, okay, these cannot be represented properly using the diagrams. Okay, that is the second limitations. Also, if there are very large differences between the values, then it can spoil the look of the diagram or look of the graph because the graph will look like a straight line upwards like the corona graph. Also, some of the diagrams can be drawn only by experts. Okay, example pie chart. And if you change the scale of the graph, okay, they portray different pictures to the reader or the layman or the viewer. Okay, so changing the scales also can portray different pictures to the layman. So these are certain limitations of the graphs. So we'll have a look at some diagrams and graphs. Okay. So first, simple bar diagram. Simple bar diagram. This diagram you had seen. This is a simple bar diagram, or this also, and this also. This is a simple bar diagram. Okay. So applications are area under different crops in the state, food grain production. So these are certain examples of simple bar diagram. So let's have a look at this. This table is visible to you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Just draw this table. Left hand side crops and right hand side area in hectares, not 1000 hectares, area in hectares. Just draw this table. Crops and area in hectares. Crops and area in hectares. This is a table of the types of crops and their areas in hectares. Areas in hectares. How many areas it is cultivated? That is given in hectares. Just draw this graph. Draw this table. And can you draw a bar diagram of this table? Simple bar diagram.
Yes, sir.
Just try it. Draw a simple bar diagram. Draw a simple bar diagram.
सर एक्स ऍक्सिसला क्रॉप घेऊन वाय ऍक्सिसला एरिया घेतल्यानंतर सिम्पली
एक
बार
minute.
डायग्राम काढू शकतो ना.
On x axis the types of crops like cereals, oil seeds, okay, and
Yes.
pulses and cottons and others. All these will come on x axis, and on y axis you have to draw the area. You have to plot the area.
Yes, sir.
Just try to draw this diagram, bar diagram, simple bar diagram. So it will look like this. It will look like this. On x-axis, the different types of crops will be there: cereals, oilseeds, pulses, cotton and others. And in y-axis, you have to write the area in hectares. That is 4,000. It is near to 4,000, 3,940. You have to take a specific scale. You have to take a specific scale like 1,000. 1 centimeter equal to 1,000 hectares. 2 centimeter equal to 2,000 hectares. 3,000 and 4,000. And you have to draw a bar. Simple bar diagram. So this is the simplest of all the diagrams. This is the simplest we use in all the bar diagrams for construction of the graph. Okay. Next, झाले का?
हो सर झालंय.
हाँ. Next, multiple bar diagram. Multiple bar diagram. So in simple bar diagram, on the right hand side there was only one variable. On the right hand side there was only one variable. Okay. In multiple bar diagram there are two or more variables on the RHS. Okay. So if there are two or more characteristics or groups are to be compared within each attribute, we use multiple bar diagram. So there are two or more groups. There are two or more groups that we have to compare in a multiple bar diagram. It is a extension of simple bar diagram, but for more than two groups. So just have a look at this. So there are three groups: food grains, vegetables and others. The LHS is year. On the x-axis is year, year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003. But there are three components. But there are three attributes or three groups, that is food grains, vegetables and others. Food grains, vegetables and others. It is the area in hectares. It is the area in hectares. So just note this table. Here food grains, vegetables and others. Here food grains, vegetables and others. Here food grains, vegetables and others. Year 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003. Food grains 100, 100 tons, 120 tons, 130 tons and 150 tons. Vegetables 30, 40, 45, 50. 30, 40, 45 and 50. And others 10, 15, 25, 25. 10, 15, 25 and 25. Okay. So this multiple bar diagram for this data. There are three groups. One is of food grains, one is of vegetables, and third is of others. So instead of simple diagram, we have to draw a multiple bar diagram in a single diagram. Okay. So it looks like this. This is for food grains, this is for vegetables, and this is for others. So this data is for 2000 year 2000. Similarly for year 2001, it's just a bar diagram with, instead of one bar there are multiple bars, 1, 2 and 3, which represent these three characters or groups. Okay, understood the difference between simple bar diagram and multiple bar diagram. So it compares these three values or these three characters. Also it compares the years also, 2000, 2001, 2002 and 2003. Okay, समझ है? Understood? This is a multiple bar diagram. Okay, next is the component bar diagram. So this is a extension of this multiple bar diagram. In component bar diagram, instead of three bars, only one bar is there, and in that the bar is divided into three parts. Or how many components are there? 1, 2 and 3. In this 3 are there. So this bar is divided into three parts, which represent 1 food grains, 2 vegetables and 3 others. Okay, also called as subdivided bar diagram. So instead of placing the bars for each component side by side, like we have placed this bar side by side, 1, 2 and 3, we place these on the top of the other. We place the second bar on the top of the first bar and third bar on the top of the second bar. That is called as component bar diagram. So this is a table in which year is there, sales is there, gross profit is there and net profit is there for the 4 successive years. Okay, so this is a component bar diagram of this data. So this is the first bar, which represent 100, sales of 100 rupees, Okay, after that this is the gross profit, that is the second component, that is 30. So instead of drawing 30 side to this, we draw above this. We draw this above this 130, and again 10. So this 10 is drawn on the top of this. This 10 is drawn on the top of this. So this is the component bar diagram. This is the component bar diagram. Okay, next.
म्हणजे सर यामध्ये आपल्याला सिम्पली एका बारचे 3 कंपोनंट पाडायचे ना?
Yes, we have to divide the bar into 3 components. Yes, बरोबर.
Yes sir, thank you.
Next, percentage bar diagram. Percentage bar diagram. So in this, the it is the same as the component bar diagram, but the every is 1974. For 1974, the percentage will be 100. For 1975, also the percentage will be 100. So all these values are given in percentage instead of these values. Okay, so we will just look at an example. Okay, so same numerical: sales, gross profit, net profit. 71.43, 21. Okay, this profit is also given in percentage. This profit is also given in percentage. Okay, so this is the percentage bar diagram. This is the percentage bar diagram in which the total of all these components will be 100%. Okay, 68.75 plus 22.86 plus 8.57. It will all be equal to 100%, and this bar will look like this. Okay, this component, first component, will be 71.43%. Okay, if there is a value, say like this, 100, 30 and 10. Okay, so you have to calculate the percentage of the total. The total is 100 plus 30 plus 10. 130 plus 10, 140. The total for the year 1974 is 140. So the sales percentage is 100 divided by 140 into 100. So that will be the sales percentage. Similarly, gross profit percentage will be 30 divided by the total 140 into 100. Similarly, net profit will be 10 divided by 140 into 100. So you have to calculate the percentage of the total component. Okay, that is called as percentage bar diagram. And this bar diagram will look like this because every year the sum of the percentage will be 100. Okay, you cannot draw percentage bar diagram which will end up till here, which will end up till here or here. Okay, it will end up 100 only, up to 100, because the total percentage will be equal to 100 only. That is called as percentage bar diagram. Okay, next is equal to pie chart. Next is equal to pie chart or pie diagram. It is a circular diagram. The exit pole diagram which we had seen, it is a pie chart or a pie diagram. It may be used in place of the bar diagrams to represent more effectively. It consists of one or more circles which are divided into number of sectors, which will have a definite angle. Okay, we will see what are the steps in drawing of pie diagram or pie chart. So in first step, we have to find the percentage or actual value. We have to find out the angle of each component. We have to find out the angle of each component. Just take down this formula. Angle is equal to actual value divided by total value into 360 degree. Because the angle of a circle is 360 degree. The whole circle is 360 degree. So that is why we will calculate with respect to 360 degree. So angle is equal to actual value divided by total of actual value into 360. Okay, this is the step number 1. Angle is equal to actual value divided by total into 360. Okay, next. Second, we have to calculate the radius of the circle. We have to calculate the radius of the circle using the formula of area. Area is equal to pi r square, where pi is 3.40. Okay. So you have to calculate the radius of circle. We also calculate the radius of the circle, and you have to draw that circle of that particular radius. Okay. Note down this figure. After this, we will draw the pie diagram of this data. State, cultivable area in hectares, and the values: Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and the total area. Note down these values. State, cultivable area. On the LHS it is state, on the RHS it is cultivable area. States are Andhra, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. 663, 448, 290, 556. And the total of all these four areas is equal to 1957 hectares. 1957 hectares. Okay, next. Now we have to find the angle for Andhra Pradesh. We have to find the angle for Andhra Pradesh. Okay, using this formula, angle is equal to actual value upon total of actual value into 360 degree. Okay, so this formula we have used here. Angle is equal to actual value. Actual value for Andhra Pradesh is 663 divided by total value is 1957 into 360, which comes as 121.9 degree. 121.9 degree. Okay, so this comes as angle for Andhra Pradesh. This comes as angle for Andhra Pradesh. That is the angle for Andhra Pradesh. Okay, likewise, different angles are found. For Karnataka, the angle has come as 448 divided by 1957 into 360. That comes to be 82.41. Similarly, for Kerala, 290 divided by 1957 into 360, which comes as 53.35, and Tamil Nadu 102.28 degrees. So these are the angles. If you total it, it will come as 360 degrees. If you total all these angles, it will come as 360 degrees. Okay, so these are the different angles, and depending on these angles we are going to draw a pie chart. Second step, radius. You have to calculate the radius pi r square. Okay, sorry, this is a mistake. Radius instead of radius, area. It should be area is equal to pi r square. So pi r square we have calculated as 1957. The total, you have to take the total. Area is equal to total of this 1957. So pi r square is equal to 1957, or r square is equal to 1957 upon this pi. It comes as 24.96. R comes as 24.96, which is approximately equal to 25. You can take 25 mm, 25 centimeter, 25 meter, 25 kilometer. You can take any of these. Okay, for our purpose we will take 25 centimeter. Okay, or 2.5 centimeter, 25 mm. That is also okay. Okay, so radius of this pie chart is equal to 25 mm. Okay, so we will draw this 25 mm radius and make this the angle using the parameter. Okay, so you have to give a angle. This angle is 121 point something, this angle is 85, this is 50, and the remaining is for Tamil Nadu. So you have to divide this 360 degrees into the given angles that we have found. Okay, so this is the pie chart. Okay, next is the histogram. It is just like a simple bar diagram. It is just like a simple bar diagram with minor differences. What are the differences? There is no gap between the bars. If there are multiple bars of 2 bars of simple bar diagram, there is no gap. In simple bar diagram there is a gap. We give a gap between the 2 bars. Okay, but in histogram there are no gap. There is no gap between the bars, since the classes are continuous. We use histogram for continuous classes, for doing the for drawing the continuous classes. it is suitable form to represent a frequency distribution. For frequency distribution table, this histogram is the suitable form to draw. Okay, in this the class intervals are represented on x-axis and the values are represented in y-axis. The frequencies or values are represented in y-axis. We will see how to draw a histogram. Okay, so these are the data. In this, the classes are continuous, that is 2.5 to 3.5. It will not start to 3.6. It will start from again 3.5 to 4.5, 4.5 to 5.5, 5.5 to 6.5, till that 10.5. Okay, and number of plants, these are the values 4, 6, 10, 26, 24, 15, 10 and 5. So there is no gap between this 3.5. After this it is not 3.6 or 4. Okay, there is no gap between the bars. Okay, it will come as a continuous curve or continuous bar diagram. Okay, we will see this. You can see this is 2.5 to 3.5. After that it will again start with the same 3.5, it is 6 value, and 4.5. Like this, the bar is continuous, not discrete or separate. Okay, so this is a histogram. This is also a simple bar diagram, except the difference is that the bars are not continuous and not discrete. These are continuous. Next, okay, this is the frequency polygon. In this, the frequencies of classes are plotted by dots against the midpoints of each class. Frequencies are plotted by dots against the midpoints of each class. Midpoints means the midpoint for this class 2.5 to 3.5 is 3. So the dots are placed on the third 3 point, on the 3 point of x-axis. That is called as frequency polygon. Okay, and these dots are joined by the straight line. These dots are joined by the straight lines. That is called as frequency polygon. The same data is there. Seed yield, number of plants, same data is there. 2.5 to 3.5, 3.5 to 4.5, same data. We will plot a frequency polygon. You can see for this 2.5 to 3.5. Okay, the midpoint is 3. For this class 2.5 to 3.5, the midpoint is 3. So this is the 3 point on x-axis. Okay, and for that class the frequency or number of plants are 4. Okay, so for this 3 the frequency is 4. Understanding? For this 3 the frequency is 4. Similarly, for 3.5 to 4.5, the midpoint is 4. So this is 4, and for that the frequency is 6. For this class the frequency is 6. So we will plot 6 on the y-axis. Okay, so this is the second point. Similarly, for 4.5 to 5.5, again midpoint is 5 and frequency is 10. Midpoint is 5 and frequency is 10. So you have to plot the points against the midpoints. You have to plot the frequencies against the midpoints of the classes. That is called as the frequency polygons. After plotting, you have to join the points by the straight line. You have to join the points using a straight line. Okay, like this, you have to just join the points using the straight line. That becomes your frequency polygon. Second type of curve is another frequency curve. That is called as frequency curve. So this is similar to a frequency polygon, but the points are joined by using a smooth or a free hand curve. You have to not join the points by using a straight line. Instead of that, you have to join the points by a smooth or free hand curve, not a straight line. That becomes a frequency curve. Same data, just I have joined these points by using a curve, not a straight line. Okay, smooth curve which fits these points. It is called as frequency curve. Okay, understood the difference between frequency polygon and frequency curve. Just the difference between frequency polygon is straight line are joined, dots are joined by using straight lines, and in frequency curve, the points are joined by using the curve or smooth curve. That is called as frequency curve. Okay, next is the Ogilvy or cumulative frequency curve. Cumulative frequency curve, or you can say Ogilvy. Okay, so it is also known as cumulative frequency curve. There are 2 points of this curve Ogilvy. One is less than Ogilvy and another is more than Ogilvy. Just like your cumulative frequency table. Less than cumulative frequency CMLT and CFMT. CFLT and CFMT. Cumulative frequency less than and cumulative frequency more than, that is plotted in Ogilvy. Less than Ogilvy. First is less than Ogilvy. In this, the cumulative frequencies are plotted against the upper boundary of respective class interval. Upper boundary of respective class interval. Suppose this is a class interval of 0 to 10. So while plotting the point, you have to plot against this. You have to plot against this. In this, the midpoint is not considered. The upper interval, upper limit is considered. Instead of plotting it on 5, you have to plot it against 10. You have to plot it against 10, and frequency is 4 on y-axis. So that is the less than Ogilvy curve. Here, the cumulative frequencies are plotted against the upper boundary of respective class interval. Similarly, greater than Ogilvy curve, in this, the cumulative frequencies are plotted against lower boundaries of respective class interval. So, while plotting more than or greater than Ogilvy curve, you have to plot against the lower boundary or lower limit, minimum value of this class interval. That is 0, 10, 20, 30. So, we'll look at this by the example. Just take these values. Draw this table. Continuous interval, midpoint, frequency, less than cumulative frequency and greater than cumulative frequency. You have to calculate the less than and greater than cumulative frequency. Okay. The intervals are 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. These are the intervals. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and 40 to 50. These are the intervals. And the frequencies for these intervals are 4, 7, 6, 10, and 2. 4, 7, 6, 10, and 2. Lila 4, 7, 6, 10, and 2. These are the frequencies for these intervals. For 0 to 10, frequency is 4. Okay. After that, we are going to draw cumulative, less than cumulative frequency. We are going to calculate less than cumulative frequency. So we already know how to calculate this. 4 will be 4. The frequency of 4 will be, cumulative frequency will be 4. In this, 4 plus 7, it will become 11. Similarly, 11 plus 6, it will become 17. 17 plus 10, it will become 27, and 27 plus 2, it will become at 29. Okay, this is less than cumulative frequency. Less than cumulative frequency. For greater than cumulative frequency, you have to take the total first. 29 minus 4. 29 minus 4, it will come here 25. 25 minus 7, it will come 18. 18 minus 6, it will come 12. 12 minus 10, it will come 2. Okay, these are the greater than cumulative frequency. So you have to draw both less than cumulative and greater than cumulative frequency. After that, you have to draw this curve. Okay, I will tell you how to draw this. So first point, first you have to draw less than cumulative frequency. First you have to draw the less than cumulative frequency curve. So you have to take on the x-axis the interval 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and 60. Okay, there is no 60, so it is okay. 0 to 60 with a difference of 10. That is the x-axis, and y-axis take a suitable because its maximum value is 29. So you have to take it till 35. 0, 5, 10. Likewise, you have to go till 35. Okay, so this is the scaling you have to do for Ogilvy curve. Now, for less than cumulative frequency, first class interval is 0 to 10. Okay, so while drawing the less than Ogilvy curve, you have to plot against the maximum value of class interval. You have to plot against the maximum value of class interval. So for this class, the maximum value for 0 to 10 is 10. So you have to plot it against 10. The cumulative frequency is 4. So this is 10, 0 to 10. So you have to plot this curve against 10, and the frequency is 4. So this is the first point of the less than Ogilvy curve. Okay. Similarly, for second point, it is 11. Okay, and the x-axis is 20. Okay, so you have to plot 20 and 11. This is the second point. This is the second point. Similarly, 30 and 17. 30 and 17. This is 30 and this is 17. Okay. Similarly, join this using a smooth curve. Okay, don't join this using a straight line. It is a curve. Join this using a smooth curve. So this curve, this single curve is called as less than Ogilvy curve. This single curve is called as less than Ogilvy curve. Similarly, while drawing greater than Ogilvy curve, you have to consider this frequency and the lower limit of this class interval. So first point will be 0 and 29. First point will be 0 and 29. That is known as 0 and 29. Okay, so this is your first point. Similarly, 10 and 25. This 10 and 25. Okay, so this will come as this. Likewise, we join this by using a curve, smooth curve, and name this as greater than Ogilvy curve. Name this as greater than Ogilvy curve. This is a less than Ogilvy curve. So this Ogilvy curve is important in your statistics also. You have to draw the curve cumulative. You have to first find the cumulative frequency, both less than and greater than, and after that you have to draw this two Ogilvy curves. Okay. Take the attendance.
घेतले सर.
घेतली ना? ठीक आहे. Next lecture will be 340. Okay.
Yes sir.